All right, y'all. So if we don't have nobody going to the bathroom, we got some water, we can start getting on. Who would like to be captain of the front of the line to escort everybody? You want to be captain? Sure. Okay. What's your name? Maisha. Maisha. Nice to meet you. Maisha, this is our captain, y'all. She's going to make sure everybody gets across the street safe today to the bus, all right? Follow the cat.
Right here in North Minneapolis. In 2019, the power plant emitted 1.3 billion tons of carbon dioxide, or CO2e, MPCA permit database. Okay? She recommends everybody getting a beautiful fan like hers. Can you show your fan, everybody? Can you show your fan? All right, y'all. If you want to do better on the climate change, get you a fan like her, okay? If you look on your left right here, this is called fluff. In the scrapyard industry, they call this fluff. It's metal, it's insulation from like seats and cars. So, somebody once told me if you want to know how much corruption is in your neighborhood, look at how much pollution is in your neighborhood.
But yeah, we'll start with analyzing the data that we collect from air quality sensor monitors. Then Hyphae will give us some options for design, and you can see here, this is like a tree buffer, if I'm not mistaken. Then model those and build interventions, monitor the results of those. And I'll let Marissa come up because she can talk about it a lot better than me, so yeah. Come on up. I'm Marissa. I'm coming from Hyphae. Back there is Brent for Hyphae Design Lab, based in West Oakland in a community very, very similar to Northside. I'm also coming from Philadelphia myself, where I live, working in the same kind of industrial corridor communities. At Hyphae, I manage our partnerships. I'm also a certified arborist and arborist, helping with the greening. We are a mission-driven organization. We've been working with EJ groups for about 15 plus years, really trying to link the research with applicable interventions, really taking the data and lived experiences, and as it could look like, you know, tree planting, tree buffers, policy, you know, litigation, all that kind of stuff. Would I space? Okay, so you might have seen the other image that Justice had up. What we talk about our ADAPT framework. That's how we will look at a problem and come up with solutions. And so, not always linear, but we do all of the things. So we'll analyze conditions, and I'm going to get into more detail about it. Designing solutions and what that could look like, building those interventions, and maintaining this monitoring and measuring the results. So part of the process is monitoring and measuring. Now, it was near the end on this loop here, but actually setting up monitors beforehand actually helps with the analysis process. And so here's an example. This might be from our project in Dallas.
Can you speak a little louder for the hard of hearing?
Sorry.
Right here.
Here's a sensor that's from our project in Dallas. So just setting up on the poles. Some of you saw the sensor from MPCA. Ours is a little bit different. They talk to each other, looking at light, wind, air temperature, humidity, and radiant heat. Then we also have this sensor. This is for when we're going around checking out the particulate matter. A lot of times the information that we're getting from MPCA is going to be on this like far away distance scale. And so we go, why can't we just use that? It's because the scale that we're working on is actually how we can do the intervention. The large scale is just too broad. We can get a kind of a sense
That's kind of like good to monitor if something's really going off at one of those sensors. You're into north side, not all of Minneapolis, so we can do that. Part of our design process is building like a 3D world. We build a 3D world, then you can see how the pollution moves through that, and then you can also model the solutions with that. Then, after that, we then implement it. This is here in Louisville where we're doing the buffer. We got this Google Data grant to apply the same kind of process to the north side to get better, more accurate information to make some better decisions. And so part of this, we're really just in that analysis phase, and that's about looking at existing and background data, looking at what is existing, what kind of layers already are there, making sure we have all the information applicable, also as well as lived experience, what's going on with that, as well as policy and projects, like great to learn about the Upper Harbor Terminal project, things like that that are going to change the community, engaging with the community to understand concerns, developing our method to gather the data. Okay, and then that's here again. So we're looking at environmental analysis, collaborators, site constraints for the north side. And I think that's it. And here's some numbers going on here in Minneapolis with the respiratory hospitalizations, cardiac events, asthma, and as you can imagine, it's worse in north side, south side. And the air pollution is estimated 10% of all deaths in the Twin Cities metro area. Okay, almost done here. And then we have our air pollution-based prioritization. And so we're going to be zeroing in and looking at the different zones. We're going to be setting up fixed sensors. So by getting this information, we know where to better put the fixed sensors, as well as doing some mobile trips through. So, you know, driving up and down, like how we did that EJ tour through that area, or through a community, if someone's marking that, they're dealing with like.
So what we want to hear from you all is kind of a little bit about the areas where you might notice pollution, where you might notice it's a little bit harder to breathe.